What's something you saw that you weren't supposed to see? 1. I went to an art and design college, and there was this one older student who had been accused of plagiarism. Thing is, the instance he was accused of was nonsense. He worked for a hobby magazine. The magazine had him paint a cover image. They owned the reference image. The reference image had been published previously as just a photo, and another student found it, saw the similarities, and made a stink about it. So all that settled down, and sometime later, he had turned in this original character design, and I'm standing in front of his drafting table talking to him about something, and he has a stack of magazines sitting on the corner of the table. And I just kinda absent-mindedly flip book one of the magazines, and it lands right on a page depicting this original character. Our eyes meet, like I knew what he knew, and he knew what I knew. And I just flipped the magazine closed and pretended I didn't see anything. 2. This was about 20 years ago, but I'm going to try to give as little identifying info as possible. I was working somewhere and we were hiring for an open position. The two interviewing managers finished up an interview with a guy who seemed okay, but he disclosed during the interview that he has a felony charge on his record, and he asked if they did background checks. Per company policy, they did not do background checks, and the company was not opposed to hiring felons. The assistant manager got a weird feeling about the dude, so he looked him up in the public court record search and found him. He had a felony for a couple of counts of child molestation. I was in the break room talking to the store manager when the assistant manager came in to let him know what he found. He handed the AM the guy's resume, along with the notes from their interview with him, and said, "Shred it, we never saw him." The AM went back to the office and shredded the guy's resume, application, and interview notes. The store manager told me to keep my mouth shut. He said, "I know you don't want to get stuck with a pedophile either." And he was right, I didn't. So I kept my mouth shut and didn't tell anyone. 3. My old boss having a moment alone in his car after getting the news of, what I assume, not getting a big competitive promotion. He was really upset, banging on the steering wheel, obviously really frustrated and disappointed. Our lunchroom overlooked the parking garage and he was parked on the top. I just happened to be getting coffee when he caught my eye getting into his car. He's okay. He lives in my neighborhood. He's doing just fine. We both don't work there anymore. 4. I was in the Soviet Union in 1990 on a project involving industrial collaboration with a Russian company. I needed to get a bubble jet printer from one of the translators, they were locked up, and followed him down a hallway. Just as I turned a corner, I saw him walk into a room with several people wearing headphones and sitting in front of reel-to-reel tape recorders. Turns out all of the translators were KGB and we were being surveilled. There was a lot of other crazy stuff from that trip.